Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Duperos y Duperos, what is going on today on DOOP By The River? We're going to talk about the collective bargaining shenanigans. What the heck is going on with our league right now? We'll get to it. We're going to talk about the Union kit release. The Union dropped some really sick, some teasers to let us know what is going on with these new kits. We're going to talk about that as well. Of course, we're going to dive into the news and notes around our league. And don't go anywhere, guys. You do not want to miss this episode of DOOP By The River. And let's get this started. And done! And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to DOOP By The River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union, brought to you by Philly Sports Network. And before we move forward, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to El Parcero Philly's YouTube channel. If you are watching it virtually, thank you so much. And if you are going to listen to this, please make sure to subscribe to PSN Radio. We have all your favorite Philly Sports Network podcasts on there, from the Eagles all the way down to the Philadelphia Union, of course, DOOP By The River. Make sure to subscribe to that. And of course, guys, I can't do this podcast without my trusty Dupetos here. And let's introduce him here. First off, my man's got the beautiful pink tie-dye. My man's feeling summer-like today. Mr. Justin Freiberg. Justin, what's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Like everyone else, being a little, a little snowed in. But
a little bit.
It was a nice, nice day. No snow days.
Justin, it is perfect orange ball weather, man.
Yeah, that if the ball doesn't stick in, because I took the dog out and that snow drops. It's a bit soft there, but it's been a nice relaxing few snow days, even if it's still working. But hey, snow is snow.
Right. It's crazy, Justin, because I've seen a lot of people complain about the snow, and especially in our area, especially in the northeast part of America. And I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, it really wasn't that bad. I found out my car. Well, first, shouts out to the Philadelphia for influencing me in buying a Subaru, because the Subarus are amazing in the snow. So I really want to give a quick shout out to the Philadelphia. But I haven't complained about driving in the snow. I've been cozied up here, with my girlfriend, and she's been working. She actually had the day off yesterday, and I caught up on a lot of Philly sports content that I missed over the weekend on my vacation. But it wasn't a bad snow day. It was definitely it's been a while since we had this much snow. So I agree with you completely, Justin. And of course, with Justin, what else can I say about this man? My guy, Mr. Tim Lovingu. Tim, what is going on, guy?
Not much. I'm much like Justin here, snowed in, but I'm in an apartment building, so it wasn't that bad. They kind of plow around and shovel for us, which is nice. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I can't complain. So enjoying the weather.
Absolutely, man. Hey, at least the Philadelphia Union play in the summertime. We won't have to worry about that around that.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, guys, it's gonna be a fun episode. A lot of good stuff to get to, but of course, unfortunately, we got to get to the business we do not want to talk about, but the collective bargaining stuff, right? So there's still a potential of a lockout going on with our MLS and the MLSPA. I'm going to allow you guys to get into this because you guys obviously have been diving deeper into it, but it is unfortunate, and I hope that we don't get to that point. But Justin, I'll let you start off, man. What is going on, and are we really looking at a potential lockout right now?
Yeah, it's gotten a lot more dire in the last few weeks. I'd say since everything's been going down, it initially, the consensus was, especially when the schedule came out, was, oh, there's no way we're locking out. They've made schedule, everything was going. And then I'm sure everyone saw the tweet from The Athletic, from the article from Sam Sejskal and Paul Tenorio, where it paints a rather grim picture of the owners basically going, you know what? Why we're holding firm on we want to extend the CBA past the World Cup, and we want to keep it. We'll pay you guys 100%, but we're going to keep it as is. And you guys really don't have any leverage, and we'll lock out if we don't agree by Thursday at midnight. And it's like, well, wait a minute, like, how in the last few weeks did this go down? Well, let's just say that, the last CBA negotiations, even last year, definitely were a bit contentious. And it was very clear on that because they didn't ratify it by the time the season stopped. And then when they had to go back again, the players did concede a few things, and the owners jumped on it. And they included the force majeure clause, which, of course, they implemented, even though they said, "Oh, we're just doing it for precautionary reasons." Well, whatever goodwill the league has garnered this past year, they just throw it right out the damn window. Like, I'm sorry, but you are. I understand you want to hold on to as much money as possible. It's a business. I get it.
Yeah,
it's a business. It is what it is. But the main reason, and I've been saying this, the main reason that they are trying to extend it past the World Cup is because they absolutely 100% know that the revenue sharing agreement is in their favor. Yeah. And considering the potential windfall that is going to come in revenue from the 2026 World Cup is going to be massive. And if the players stick to what the current CBA is, they're going to lose out on a lot of money, a ton of money.
Yeah.
And if I'm the players, I'm rightfully saying, you know what? We gave up a decent amount for this last CBA. There is no way in hell we're giving this up. And the owners. Now, I haven't seen anything that would indicate that there's a distinct group, because obviously you don't really hear much on that side. The owners in the league try to be, and they are usually pretty good about being as tight-lipped as they can as possible regarding this. But it's very clear, at least this is my working theory, and I have a feeling that this could be true, that the upper echelon owners, the Arthur Blanks, the Robert Krafts, the LAFCs, the owners that have money, I don't think they're pushing for this as hard as everyone else is. The owners that I think are pushing very hard for this are the owners that are a little more cash strapped. And oh, wait a minute, a certain team that plays in Chester has an owner that is very cash strapped compared to the rest of the league. And it sounds awful to say, in fact, but I don't care at this point. Yeah. I'm very positive that Jay Sugarman is one of the owners pushing for this, because it would not surprise me. He's been coasting on when the expansion fee for this league was $10 million or whatever it was, like very low in comparative standards to today's $300 million now. And it frustrates me. Like, you guys know me. I try to be as positive as I can, but with also being realistic. But this is frustrating me to no end, because like this is the same stuff that we keep seeing. And at what point, like, it's very clear now, the league does not give, and I hate to use this language, but a flying shit about the fans or their players. It is 100% clear now. And if I'm the players, I go, why would I want to stay here? Like, you're not attracting any options. It is tough enough for this league to sign better players. And now you're saying, you know what? We don't give a shit about you guys. It's all about the money for us. It's like the players are going to go, why the hell would I come to America? Like, this doesn't seem like a very attractive option.
Man, you are scaring me for sure. You definitely are scaring me. But Tim, you got any insight here on the situation as well?
I mean, yeah, Justin, laid it out all in front of us, but to kind of maybe nail into a few of the points that he made from the side of the fans and the players. I mean, first, let's start with the players. The players put out a real statement that said we want to play, creating that buzz of, we're willing to lax a little bit in our negotiation in order to get a season played, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. They want to play. They want to raise, their stock. If they're younger players looking maybe to make a move, MLS has been the place to do that. So they want to play. If they're veteran players, it could be one of the last playing years they have, so they want to play. And they went to throw that little bone out to MLS, and they didn't bite on it, which is why we had this extra week of negotiations here, which is total BS because of what Justin laid out. The league and the owners really, they can kind of stand firm, and then they don't lose any money. So it's really down to that. And when it comes to the fans, that's the thing that hurts the most. When fans suffer because of an owner or owners, that's when sports get murky, and we've seen that in a lot of different sports and a lot of different teams, things like that. So it really is heartbreaking from that side of things, because Union fans just want to see games being played. They want to cheer on their team. They want to yell at them when they're not playing well. They want to see them win another trophy. Like that's what this is all about. So it is 100% a money grab and awful. It's not about sport. It's not about the league. And then I think if you think about what is going on right now, we saw, we're going to talk about it. We've seen a lot of players go out on short-term loans over to Europe, over to other places before deadlines and things like that. And that just kind of shows that, okay, the players might even know that they won't get a chance to play right now. So they're trying to figure out options to be able to play. And then when you look even at the Union, we haven't seen any players announced, any new signings. And Ernst Tanner might be thinking, well, why would I want to sign anyone new if we're literally going to bring them from a place where they could be playing to a team that now is going to be locked out by their own owners? Like that, I think that is really the reason why we haven't seen any Union signings.
And Tim, do you think, to point on that, do you think, and it's just a potential hopeful, but that the Union would sign a player and then loan him back to wherever they sign him from to keep them playing? Like if they're still playing,
I would hope so. Like, I mean, if this is sort of the sticking point, I mean, who knows? We obviously don't. We don't know what Ernst Tanner's up to. There could be some things in the works there, but yeah, if it has become a stumbling block in terms of player acquisition, then it's this whole trifecta of just awful. Like it's awful for the sport and the league. And I even said this before we came on. This league is one that has been growing to a point where we're seeing all of these players get chances in Europe. Players that are young coming through academies, signing for big European clubs. I mean, we've seen it with Brendan Aronson and Mark McKenzie. We're going to talk about Brian Reynolds in a little bit from FC Dallas, and the type of signing that is for Roma. So it's just a bad look all around right now for the league and the owners, and not so much anyone else. Like I feel bad for the players, coaches, fans, everyone else involved, because this shouldn't really be happening. It wouldn't have happened without the pandemic.
I 100% agree with you. It's definitely a sticky situation. These situations are never fun, but definitely we want to see these guys out there, but on the right terms. The players deserve, they did as well. At the end of the day, they're putting their livelihoods out on the line every single season they play. So hopefully we get to a resolution. Me personally, I witnessed an NBA lockout. I witnessed 2 NHL lockouts. So I don't want to witness another lockout. Please, MLS, please. All right, guys, let's move on. Hopefully we get this situation resolved in the next couple of weeks here. But on to some better news, into some little bit of optimism. So the Philadelphia, this is the time of year, right, where we're starting to talk about the kits for next season. That's the beauty about the MLS compared to the other American sports. We get new kits every single season, add some intrigue. You get to buy multiple kits. If you're like Justin and Tim, you got a whole wide collection of Union kits. I still need to get mine up there.
I have a closet of soccer kits, and that is not a lie.
I work with 2 certified kit heads, as they like to call it in the business.
Yeah, you know what? I'll have to at some point post a a little. I could do a little video of my
I know.
closet. I have it organized by sport, and most of that closet is soccer.
I'm I'm 110% jealous of that. I definitely need that. But yeah, so the Philadelphia Union are scheduled to drop their kits this season, and it's always an exciting time. And the Union have dropped some serious teasers.
They actually, if I can share my screen, let me see if this John will work. Let's figure out which screen here to use, if I can figure it out. Share. So fellas, I'm not sure if you can see that.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was finished. Yes.
So that is what the Union teased tonight.
I know, man.
This is what they teased tonight. And the amount of people that are trying to pull any kind of information,
Wow.
including myself. Trust me, I was zooming in on that picture. I put it on my, I changed monitors. I use my parents' old, they have a decent size second monitor that they're not using. So I, switched out the one I borrowed from work, and I literally looked at it, and I'm like squinting in, and they did just the right amount of shading with the lighting to hide what and they 100% know that we are all trying to pull as much information. Like, you have,
they're doing a great job at it too.
Oh yeah, there's people like, I'm looking at the comments, and there's people like, joking, said shaking fist at admin because like they know they hit enough, and the Union are kind of giggling, and people are like, just the Union know they are teasing it. The Union know.
Smart.
What's that comment I'm seeing here? The admin of the account has a hidden message for anyone that changed the hue contrast.
Yep. It says nice try.
Yeah,
Nice
so I saw a few people were saying that, and I'm like,
so smart, man.
It's
so smart.
It's so smart, because you don't think people are going to try to do anything they can, because if there was even a slight hint that you could glean anything, the internet would blow it up. And
oh yeah,
I joke, it's a shame, but I guess we're all gonna have to wait until tomorrow when the kit drops.
Yeah,
right.
And I better clear my calendar, because I'm not sure when the kit drop will be. So I gotta make sure that I'm around, because if not, and it happens to me a lot. I happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time when it comes to these announcements. Like, I happen to be like either working out or out of the house and not checking my phone and all this stuff, and like immediately people will blow up my phone going, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Because normally, like, I'm one of the first people that like will share this kind of stuff. So people are always looking at me going, did you see it? I'm like, see what? And then I go, like, oh my god, and like the notifications are blowing up. But
right. Well, okay. So here's the other. So we had that picture that Justin showed us, which was great, and obviously, the picture was great, and I quote tweeted and I said I love this club, because the thing is that unfortunately, because we play in Chester, I love playing in Chester, but unfortunately, because we play in Chester, a lot of people don't feel that we are part of the city. So when the Union are doing these certain things in the city, I love it. But so here is the picture that they have this as their header on their Twitter account. So this is obviously, there's a lot going on here. So what you notice is obviously the electricity going on there, and we're seeing two different of the blue and gold, right? So you got the light blue and then you also have that yellow going on as well. So those two right there have been really big hints. You obviously see the crest with the black kits. I'm sorry, that Alejandro Bedoya and Kai Wagner are wearing with the crest there, and obviously the Union. I have to actually pull that one up as well. But the Union, obviously, they put up a video of someone, I guess, on the admin themselves walking around Philly with a lightning bolt, walking around the city as well. So they seriously dropped a lot of hints as of late. But Tim, what are you feeling, man? What are you thinking about these kids? What kind of diabolical stuff is our Philadelphia Union up to here?
Lightning bolt sash.
I mean, Justin, we all know Justin wants lightning bolts and lightning bolt sash. That'd be pretty cool. I think the biggest hint actually was in that kitten picture that they posted, because everyone said that they were tweeting, give me a kit tease, and they kept thinking of kittens or kitties. So they posted a picture, but it was a bunch of white cats with those. They had blue collars, and then on each collar there was a different symbol on it. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but each symbol has something to do with Ben Franklin. So my thought is that it's some sort of, inspired theme from that. You get the lightning bolt from that. You get more of the key stuff, kite type of thing. So yeah, I would love to.
I'm just noticing that.
Any kind of mashup with that sort of imagery. Maybe make it, look a little unique on the front. Make it go crazy. I mean, honestly, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that in a while. We've only seen white shirts. So if it's another mainly white shirt, I think people might be a little bit disappointed. But if it goes crazy and it has, a lot going on.
No kits.
Yeah. So.
All right. So here's a picture that Tim was alluding to. Let me get this. Comment out of here.
Yeah. So you can see each cat has a.
Yeah.
There's one with a Union snake, but then the rest are pretty much all Ben Franklin stuff. You got the lightning bolt on the one, a key, and a kite. And then obviously the cats have blue and yellow eyes, because we know that they're switching things up a little bit and going with the city colors. So yeah, I mean that's what I pulled from it. And I'd be pretty excited to see that kind of imagery on a jersey, because the city is rich with its history. And if you pull from someone like Ben Franklin, Sons of Ben type of stuff, that'd be pretty cool,
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, first off, where else do you get this insight? We are dissecting kitty pictures here, okay? This only here on DOOP By The River do we analyze pictures of kittens. That's why you should tune in, and that's why you should subscribe.
I can't tell if it's because there's really no news and we're trying to glean as much as we can from a kit tease, or we really are breaking some real ground here with with what we're doing. When I figure that out, I'll let you guys know.
Right. So right here, shouts to S Carson _ Justin brought this up before the air as well, and I kind of wanted him to get it out there as well. He says these MLS kids need some flavor, and I think Union are really about to spice things up.
Yeah.
Now this brings up my point when it comes to the kits that I wanted to talk about here today, because I do know what the kids do look like, and I am not allowed to talk about them. We won't talk about it. But what I will say here, guys, is it's tough for the MLS to generate some creativity, you may say, when Adidas is the main manufacturer for all these kits. And unfortunately, guys, with the situation of that, it makes sense for the MLS to have the same manufacturer. You guys got to remember, our league still really young. This league is not generating some of these other leagues around the world do, which is why you have those leagues have their own manufacturer. But for right now, let's just think about it. So I guess the biggest club right now, probably LAFC, I think. And then you compare what they make in kit sales to a club maybe like an FC Cincinnati. It doesn't really, compare and make sense. So it's unfortunate that Adidas has to make these kits. I do agree. It does suck sometimes, especially last year, everybody had the same style of kit, the three stripes, everyone had it. But it's just a situation of what it is. Justin, what are your, I know you really adamant about this, but what are your thoughts, man? What are you on the don't have a manufacturer?
So I think it's very, the whole process with the jersey manufacturing can be, I think, because of the whole the single entity thing. I think the league's taken that a little too far with, well, these kits all look the same and there's no originality. There's no anything. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I really think the league, once this contract ends with Adidas, I really feel they should shake things up and decide to just, say to every team, we're going to allow you to get your, to procure your own jersey sponsor or jersey maker. In that way, the league can have some flair, some originality. Because if you look at like every other league around the world, the leagues allow the teams to get their own jersey maker, and it has gotten some great results. It's also gotten some poor results, but you don't know until you actually try it, and that's what's frustrating. Is the league doesn't want to just they take the whole single entity thing a little too far. Like at some point, you just gotta go let the teams have some original flavor, because I'm 100% sure that if you ask most Union fans if they would bring back the steel kits as a third jersey, everyone would be buying that in a second. It's very clear that they want that. But the league just doesn't. I don't think the league cares. Yeah. Which, again, leads me back to my point. The league does not actually care about its product other than looking nice. It doesn't, and even that, some of these jerseys don't look nice. I mean, Austin just released an all-white kit, and they have all this stuff that supposedly, that the supporters group designed some stuff around the collar, but you can't see it because it's all white.
Yeah.
Or Minnesota doing an all-white kit and calling it a snow kit. No, you were just lazy. You were just lazy and didn't want to do anything.
I would see Montreal snow kit too.
It's Atlanta United doing that silver and that light and gold. I'm like, it looks so dumb. And then if the rumors are true about their new jersey, it's not the 5 stripes, it's the 5 lines. It's like, and it's just genuinely frustrating. It's it's very clear the league just does not care. And at some points, I just want to go enough is enough. And it usually takes a lot for me to reach my breaking point. But what would it be figuring out? And as Carson brings up a good point, imagine a Union kit like the United Zebra kit with lightning bolts all around the jersey. Wouldn't that be pretty sick? Yeah. Look at that. That's 5 lines. It's ridiculous. Wouldn't you love to see? Yeah, I know people. Gave the Man U Zebra kit a bit of grief, but people have come around to it since because as they saw it in person, they saw it play. Wouldn't it be pretty cool if the Union had something similar to that, but lightning bolts and keys, maybe the key around the collar and lightning bolts everywhere? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah,
but he's never going to do that because why be original? Why have any flair for creativity?
Look, what I will say, this is why it is important, for all of us to do our part, all Union fans to do our part to continue the relevancy of the league. The more the people watch this league, the more companies are going to want to throw money into our league. And then maybe one day, maybe when, all 3 of us here are in a wheelchair, we can finally see the MLS have their own manufacturing kits. Well, one other thing I will say on the kits, guys, just when you see it, just have an open mind. That's all I'm going to say. Just have an open mind. I know how we get sometimes in our fan base. That's why I love you guys. You're passionate Philly sports fans, and I get that. But just have an open mind. This is definitely outside the box, and I love them for it. And I cannot wait for some of these reactions because I know the past couple of seasons, it was really interesting to see. I always look forward to the kit release because some of these opinions are pretty interesting to hear, for sure. But Tim, what you got? Anything else on this as far as the kits goes?
I got nothing. I want them to release it now. I think Zek said it best because he's over in England, I believe, right now. So it's Wednesday for him. So he wants the club to release it, and I'm with him. I think they should release it right now. You know,
just release it. You know? You know what? What about because obviously I look at it the American side of things. What if we got Reebok back? Like what the hell is Reebok doing these days? Reebok, when I was growing up, they had the NFL, they had NHL and the NBA, and then they just lost out to Nike and Adidas. What the hell are they doing these days? I don't know who do they even make soccer kits anymore? Back in the day, Bolt and Wonders had some solid Reebok.
Reebok, I think, only does hockey now.
It's owned by Adidas, apparently.
That would make sense. Just give it to them, and then Adidas can worry about making all the other kits in Europe, I guess. But yeah, so of course, Wednesday we're recording tonight on Tuesday. Wednesday we will get the release of the kits. We're all counting down. It's going to be like Christmas Day to see what these kits do look like. Keep coming to the comments. Comments are great today, guys. Thank you so much.
Friday is the first night of the, I guess what they're calling like the multiple kit like parties. Like it's like, again, I still have tried to figure out how the whole system is working, but I know myself, I will be down at the stadium on Friday. I will be picking up or ordering my kit. It depends on how this whole situation, if you pre-order and then pick it up there, or because I know you can also, if you're a season ticket holder, you can pick up your membership package at the event, and then if which I will be, I'll be posting some videos.
Yes, sir.
From the DOOP By The River Twitter account.
Yes, sir.
And if anyone is around, I might be sticking by the Larimer afterwards for a drink or two. So if any y'all want to come by, I will not oppose having a beer or two with someone. That's all. That's all.
It's an open invitation there. Come on, awesome stuff. So tomorrow's the day. I cannot wait. All right, let's move on, guys. Because you know what time it is. It is the MLS news and notes time here. For our league here, is a lot been going on, guys. And it was crazy. I was talking to Justin and Tim before the air. Like, I don't remember so much activity going on as far as players leaving this league, and it's a positive. It's not a bad thing, and it's a great thing. So, what we'll do, I'll bring up the news and note that is happening, and then I'll be one by one. You guys can talk about it. We can move along with this one quicker. So I'll start with Justin here. So Justin, Paul Arriola, and let me get the banner here first. The Paul Arriola seems like he's going to be joining Jordan Morris, and he's going to be sent on loan to Swansea City. Man, what are your thoughts on that one?
That one is not surprising. I know we had actually heard about this. I heard about this before the Jordan Morris news. It just took longer to become official.
Mm-hmm.
I love it actually. Like his fit in the team is a lot bigger of a question mark than Jordan Morris, because he is more of an out-and-out winger. At least with Jordan Morris, he can play as a second striker, which they do in a 3-5-2. So I'm curious how they're gonna play it. But again, I think these are two players that it's very clear that I mean, Swansea didn't need to make these moves. They're sitting comfortably, and they're playing pretty well. They're sitting in the promotion spot, so the automatic promotion spot. So they really didn't need to do this, but it's clear that they want to make a promotion push. And if they do get promoted, I would be curious, and I would like to hope that these players, as much as I love them in the league, I'd love for these players to be permanent parts and be in the Premier League. Could you imagine more Americans tearing up the Premier League? Like it's the American takeover of the Champions League of European competition, because it at this point it feels like as I said last week, Americans are in vogue, and they are the hot commodity. They are the ones that everyone wants.
We're the hit thing.
And if people wanted, like, I think I said this, like a few years ago, this move would have been like celebrated, going, "Oh my God, like this is amazing." Now we're like, well, could he have gone to like Burnley or like Brighton? Like you look at that and then you go like, again, I say this, this is what just goes to show how big of a step in these last 3 years that Americans have taken to be the big thing, to be wanted, to be happy. And like these teams are now having to set up scouting networks in America and going, right, wow, this is a player we never would have seen before, like all this and that. And you go, like, it's perfect. And I honestly, I am sitting back and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Right. And our boy Zach being sent to Wales isn't much of a shout about that. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure you could talk to our boss man, Liam. I'm sure he knows the hardships of getting stuff sent
to Swansea, to Wales. No, look, and it's because a lot of people were saying this on TikTok as well. I mean, that was more so because they hate the MLS. But look, for us as a league, people need to understand, and I get it. I understand why you guys fail to understand this, but we are a baby amongst the giants of the soccer world. Yeah. So for us, a player like a Paul Arriola, a Jordan Morris, who've paid their dues in the MLS, are getting an opportunity to show what they have at the championship level. And to be honest with you, the championship, obviously it's not the Premier League. It's not a top 5 league in Europe, but it is a great place to develop because you kind of are thrown under the fire when you're playing there. There's little room for error, which could be a bad thing, but also I'm the proponent. I love when I'm learning something to be thrown in the fire because that's the way I like to learn, right? And I think that we'll see how Jordan Morris and Paul Arriola handle this. But look, this is a great move for MLS players, and if MLS players can get it in, I mean, look at Harrison. Going from NYCFC to Leeds, he gets promoted with Leeds, and now they're a solid squad in the Premier League. It's tough in your first year, but again, it's not terrible. And I'm going to be excited to see what he does with Swansea as well. All right, so Tim, next up here we had LAFC is getting depleted a little bit. Brian Rodriguez looks like he's being sent on loan to Almeria in La Liga. He's getting sent to La Liga, man. What are your thoughts on that move?
I mean, honestly, with things that are going on with the CBA and everything, we've seen a lot of these moves happen kind of quickly, and I think this is just another one of those moves. I know he had been rumored to possibly leave LAFC kind of throughout the transfer window, but he secured his loan here now. He gets to go over to Spain, and he gets that chance, even if it's La Liga, if it's the second division, whatever, wherever he's in right now, he gets to try to prove himself on that stage. And I think for a lot of these players that we're seeing go on these short-term loans, it is really a time to stand out because you have a finite amount of time. You know that it's going to end at some point, whether or not it gets extended or if, you then maybe get to have other opportunities come your way because you played well over there. It's a good move for him, I would say.
And I have to ask, is this the first deal we have done with La Liga since Josie as a league?
I don't even know. I would have to.
Wasn't Josie was with
Red Bull.
Well,
And,
well,
and then
'cause
then he got sold. I know Rodriguez is getting loaned, but
I thought
I think
he was sent to was it to Belt? Because I know he ended up coming back through Sunderland. It was kind of essentially like a player trade with Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah.
I thought he got sold on the Villarreal to start his European career, or am I getting that mistaken?
I would have to do a deep dive, to be honest. I haven't looked at that in so long.
It's been a while, and no, that's just my point. Like, I feel like La Liga kind of, have been like the stragglers to like the whole MLS hype here. But
no, you're right. He was sold to Villarreal, but he didn't make many appearances. He ended up getting loaned out 3 times, and then went to as at Alkmaar in the Eredivisie, and then Sunderland, and then now to Toronto. So he did go to Villarreal, but kind of
Yeah.
I mean, I'll show you in 2 seconds here. It just was. There will never be a signing like that one, man. Where are we at here? And get ready for this one, guys.
Let's do it. Oh yeah.
Oh my!
That's the Union kit. That's the new Union kit. Look at it.
Dude.
Oh my God! I think I've been blinded.
It's very yellow.
I know.
Very, very yellow. My lord.
It's just, and you know what I think it was back then? I think that Villarreal saw talent in Josie Altidore, but I think that they kind of
Wait, there was talent.
What's up?
Ouch.
There's talent with Josie.
Definitely.
You have to stay on the field.
That's true.
In order to.
Well, did he have those issues in Villarreal as well? Did he have injury issues?
That's definitely been a hamper in his career. I mean,
Yeah.
That sucks. So good too.
I mean, I remember correctly, 2014 World Cup. Like he got hurt. What was it, like the second game? Like his injury history. He just like that's been like the thing. Like he was touted as the next guy, and when he's healthy, he's good. But as I always, as my dad always says, talent can be a lot, but if you can't stay on the field, your talent's worth bupkis.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, so next up, as far as the rumors go here, it was an interesting one. Brian Reynolds gets sold by Roma, and this was an Italian battle, I like to say. You had Juve and La Roma going for Brian Reynolds, an American. I was not expecting this. I was definitely not expecting this. I'll allow you to get this one, Justin. What are your thoughts here? Brian Reynolds to Roma.
I still can't believe it because the kid played for like 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. Reggie Cannon gets sold in like August to Boa Vista. And this kid shows up for like maybe two and a half months at most.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's being linked, like, what was it? Like $10 million at one point was the rumor.
Right.
And it was between Roma, it was between Juve, Inter. And then it was, okay, if Juve gets him, who are they going to loan him out to? And I looked at it and went like, I get this kid might be good. And I hope he's good. Like, the competition for outside backs, outside of like Serginho Dest, the competition's wide open for backs. And Dest can play on the left, so the right side is wide open. So, like, I'm honestly hopeful that he and Roma's a good team to settle with because they really do develop young players. I would say in the Italian league is probably outside of the Bundesliga, probably one of the best leagues if you're a younger player that might be maybe good, might not be what they call great or just enough to make it to the Premier League or maybe even to a higher Bundesliga club.
Right.
So it's a perfect, and Roma of all teams, I mean, they've turned out some pretty good talent.
Yeah.
So I think it's and they have a way of you look at certain players who have come there and revitalize their careers. So it's it can be helpful. So I hope this kid is going to live up to the hype. But man, $8 million for an outside back that had like 2 months of professional experience, you gotta wonder if there's some lingering questions of, is he good enough? Like it's clear that he has potential, but potential only means so much.
Right.
I do hope the kid does well, but maybe it's that American self-doubt, but you gotta wonder. It's a question you gotta pose if you're an American fan.
Yeah.
Right. It's definitely interesting. Because what we talked about with La Liga not giving MLS guys a chance. Serie A has been another one of those leagues never really given MLS guys a chance here, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, like the real opportunity here that Serie A club is giving an MLSer an opportunity, and I do think that FC Dallas is gaining this reputation, and kudos to them, because you're seeing obviously, I think McKinney, we can probably say, started this. Weston McKinney, Chris Richards, you just mentioned Reggie Cannon, now Brian Reynolds. So it's great, and also Juve and Roma battling out. Like, these are one of the top Serie A clubs to battle out for this youngster. But I think that for Roma, they kind of stepped in last. Yes, cash rules everything around us. I think for Roma, they kind of saw Juve, and obviously, the rivalry between Roma and Juve. They kind of saw Juve going after him, and they were like, well, let's do our research. And they wanted to go buy. They went out and bought him. And I think Roma is trying to do some more business within the United States. If you guys saw as well, they're starting an academy in New York. I said my piece because, look, I understand. Like, I hate New York. I hate NYCFC. I hate the Red Bulls. But the way I see it is, we allow European clubs to build academies here, guys, they're going to be able to steal the best players, and that's money that MLS is potentially losing there as well. So Roma's doing their due diligence. They obviously see what's going on here in America, and they're going to. And Roma's also about a bang for their buck. Like, those guys, they love to sell players. They keep teasing the fan base, like, hey, we're going to finally win, and then they sell a player off. So we'll see how that works out there. All right, the next news of note. This you guys will like this banner here. Where did I put it here? So, ladies and gentlemen, it apparently has been official, but the NYCFC crybaby is heading to the Copa Libertadores champs. Valentin Castellanos, if you guys do not know who I'm talking about, listen, I have my own beef with him, but
he Argentinian gold medal diver.
Yes, he is a gold medal diver, to say the least. So he apparently, I won't have my opportunity to throw a pacifier at him now, because he's now going to Brazil to play with Palmeiras. Tim, I'll let you get this one, man. I'm going to miss Castellanos, but, what does this mean more so for our league? A Copa Libertadores champ is once one of our players.
Yeah, I think, again, a lot of these moves, these short-term loan moves, are just that, a chance for players to play in a side when a league might go on lockout. A lot of these loans will sort of end, right around when the season was projected to start anyways, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen all of what is actually there for Castellanos. But yeah, it's the way that he played, and the way that, I think he'll fit right in with a team in Brazil. Let's just say that. But yeah, I don't know. All of these loan moves are still sort of rubbing me the wrong way. It just makes me think the league is actually going to lock out its players, and that the players are looking to jump ship just to stay fit.
Yeah,
I don't really like. I mean, for Castellanos, good for him. I'm with you, John. I don't like the way he plays. He dives way too much, and I know that in the last pod I said that I used to be an attacker, and I would do a dive every once in a while, but he does it way too much. So if he gets to go and play, that's great. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the move.
Who's the number 10? Morales?
Yep,
or NYC?
Morales.
Yeah.
Those two are the best tag team duo as far as diving goes. Because I'm glad they're breaking up.
I mean, is it really diving for Morales if you're like already like 5 foot nothing?
Short people alone.
It's
like-
it's kind of just like
Yazga and Linus.
Oh man.
Oh man, that was great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Next news of note: Daryl DK from Orlando City to Barnsley. Justin, man, what do you got?
Wait, did you just say Barnsley?
Or Barnsley? Sorry, Barnsley.
I was gonna say, you're the Cooligans are rubbing off on you. It's
a Latino
Barnsley effect. No. So, funny fact about this move, actually, from what I heard, the him getting about a like 25-minute cameo in the game against TNT actually helped him secure the move to Barnsley, because you need to be a player who's registered at least one cap for a top 50 FIFA club, and England is notorious for being a very tough place to get a work permit. Sebastian Soto literally just got one because he was recalled on his loan going back to Norwich. But I'm actually very happy about this move. And the Orlando fans that I know are more reasonable than most. I know that's a hard thing to say with Orlando fans. But the ones that I've talked to have said, like, it sucks that he's going out, but they're actually excited because the kid has crazy good potential. He could be the next Josie if he stays healthy. Like, in terms of like that body, that pure body striker around it could be, it could be really good. And I think getting him exposure at the championship level is perfect. And Orlando fans have said it. If he gets sold, you know what? It helps the club. It helps the player. And they talk about FC Dallas. They talk about the Union. You talk about these teams that are churning out young talent. Like, the kid has potential. It's very clear. And I saw him play in college. I saw him play last year. The kid has got crazy potential for a guy who's like 6'2", 6'3", with, I would say, pretty deceptive speed. He's going to be able to hold defenders off. He's got he's be able to get his feet from out from under him. Yeah, if he could contribute something to a relatively decent championship side, it could be a big thing for his career, and it could be a big thing for the national team. You talk about open competition at outside back. There's an open competition at striker, and it's very clear from that picture. My man's got
jacked. I see why you're comparing him to Josie.
Because he's got arms like a linebacker.
Yeah. I will say, if it doesn't work out in Europe, I'm sure the Philadelphia Eagles can use him as a wide receiver. He looks perfect for that.
I was just saying, the Eagles can use him as a middle linebacker. I'm sure he he'll have a great career in WWE or UFC. Like, the dude, Derek DK is a big man. He is a big man.
Which makes me think, I can't believe Josie used to look like this.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
But like, you look at Derek DK, 20 years old, and the dude is is bodying guys 5-10 years his senior. In this league. Like, it's very clear he's not going to be bullied around.
That's for sure.
And if
built for it.
If like one day he said he develops into that striker that we need. Could you imagine him shrugging off a center back at the Azteca and scoring a game winner in stoppage time of a qualifier? Like, I know this might seem hyperbolized, but like the think about it gives me chills, because like, I'm excited for all this young talent coming through, and Daryl DK is just the latest. Yeah. And it's really exciting to see. And I do hope the kid, I hope the move turns out to be a positive one.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely great signing for the MLS, and Barnsley is going to get a good player, a good, solid player to say the least. All right, let's move on here. So obviously the European transfer window ended, but there was some really serious rumors heating up for one Bobasay from the Portland Timbers, who we know very well from the MLS's back tournament, which we won't talk about. But listen, a credit for this kid, NFL MLS draft product here, and my man was getting serious looks from Belgium and Germany. Anderlecht, Zlate Wargam. We talked about it last week. Again, we're working on pronunciation, guys. I promise you, we are. And Dusseldorf over in Germany. Tim, I'll let you get this one, man. I guess first, the potential of Bobasay going over to Europe can he play in Europe?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we've seen he's a very versatile attacking player. He, can play striker. He can play out on the wing. He's has a little bit of that speed, shows that flair for scoring big goals. We've seen him do that for Portland in playoffs and in MLS Cup, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, yeah, I think he could make that transition for sure. And I know that we were just getting rumors of these possible moves, later on in the day today here. But it'll be interesting to see if there's, really any weight to them, if it's just a matter of time before he gets to make that move and be another American to make that jump. It'll be really interesting that, you bring up the draft as well, because I can't think of many draft picks recently that have been able to make that jump to Europe. We think of it in the past of, you see out the door, you see Dempsey, you see, other things like that. But,
was Jack Harrison a draft pick?
Oh, Jack Harrison was a draft pick. Yeah. I don't count him as one. I guess I should, but yeah, it's just you think of, like, in terms of American drafted MLS players, you don't think of many going over into Europe now. You just see mostly academy kids getting cherry picked, or you see people get a little bit of MLS experience from, being a homegrown, and then they go.
I love this.
So, yeah. I mean, what is the MLS draft? The Union doesn't do anymore, so yeah.
We destroyed it. We are destroying it. It's still alive, but
and
we're
still getting A+ grades in the draft.
that is my favorite part, to be honest.
I mean, just to switch real quick to that, the Union got a fair chunk of money for those draft picks, and that's why they got that grade. They got a pretty good chunk of money for that. So, no, but back to obviously, he could definitely make that jump. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, here soon. If and when we get to see him play again for Portland, I'm sure he'll be playing to make that move. I'm sure it's part of what he wants to do as a developing player.
Right, absolutely. Definitely. I hope he does get that opportunity one day. Again, allowing these MLS players to show what they got over in Europe. What else can you absolutely ask for? And of course, our Philadelphia Union destroying the MLS draft. I mean, what else can we possibly ask for? It's awesome stuff. All right, let's move on, guys, to the last news of note I wanted to talk about. So obviously the Sounders, they're going through a little bit of a transition, I guess. Losing Jordan Morris is huge. But I do like this next move that they did. So the Seattle Sounders have signed on Spencer Ritchie, who last played for FC Cincinnati. Now, just watching him play, I'm honestly a fan of his. Obviously, Stephen Fry is still in Seattle. His job is still his. But don't underestimate having some goalkeeping depth, guys. Obviously, here in Philly, we got Andre Blake, and we also have Matt Freese. We still have Bendick as well, Joe Bendick face as well. So don't underestimate that. But I do like that Seattle solidifies some depth at the goalkeeping position. Justin, your thoughts on this move here, man?
I think it's actually a really good move. Stephen Fry is getting up there in age. I don't think he can play every game like he used to. I think Spencer Ritchie got a pretty raw deal in Cincinnati. I mean, he wasn't the starter, and then he was a de facto starter for a while, and he was playing well. And then a new coach comes in, and he gets back to being relegated to the second goalie. It's like the games I saw him play, he actually played pretty well. And he's a young goalie, I believe, like mid-20s. And again, with Stephen Fry being up there, I believe Stephen Fry is 35, 36. I know he's up there in age. I think this could be, the Sounders have a sneaky habit of getting these players that fly under the radar and help them win championships. Just look at, Harry Shipp a few years back. Like,
Right.
Really everyone thought his career was basically over as young as he was. And then what does he do? He basically comes off the bench and helps, propel the Sounders to, a great playoff run and winning another MLS Cup. And at that point, it's like, okay, it's very clear that, they found a player that was not really being utilized great, or just in general, just not really being, or just not being fully appreciated. And Spencer Ritchie is definitely one of those players that, goalie is a tough position to really get any real praise for, because you're always the first one to be blamed.
That's right. That's
Like
right.
you're trust me, I as a goalie myself, you get blamed a lot of the time, even if it's not your fault. It is what it is. It's the nature of the position. But you know what? He's got. I mean, again, learning from a guy like Stephen Fry, I'm sure he's going to be great for his career. And I don't know. Goalies. The weird thing about goalies is they can play into their 40s. Like goalie, you can start later and still have a pretty long career. It's like center backs, how you develop a little later. It's it is what it is, but I think this is a low key underrated signing, and I'd be curious to see if we have a season how to work out for him. But no, I like this thing a lot.
Listen, again, like I said, watching him play, I didn't think he did a terrible job with what he got handed. We all know what FC Cincinnati's been over the past couple seasons, and I thought he did a solid job. So going here, like you said, developing under Fry, better situation. You can succeed in Seattle, so I really like it. I think that Seattle are going to be set at the goalkeeping position for sure. 100%. All right, guys. Last but not least, to end the show, it is my favorite segment. And what is that segment, you guys ask? It is Doop Across the Pond, the segment where we find out what is going on with our Union alums over in Europe. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We had a full slate of Union players playing over in Europe with some great stuff. I feel like we need a theme song for this.
I'm picturing like I said, our little snake in the boat kind of going over, and like
yes.
Washington crossing the Delaware, and you had flute playing. Like I feel like that's what we need. The stuff like that. Like we'll work on this, people. Trust me, it's a work in
progress. Yes, absolutely, 100%. All right, so to start off, Dupe Across the Pond, we're going to start off with Mr. Medford Messi. His Red Bull Salzburg faced off against a team called Hartberg.
Heartburn.
We're working. He came off the bench again. He came off in the 71st minute, so he got about 19 minutes of play. So not too bad. But again, not like last week where he got his assist, but he got himself a nice couple 19 minutes, 19 solid minutes. Can't complain. And then for Mr. Mark McKenzie, a little bit more exciting. He actually played. He played one game this past weekend against a club called Michelin. The Michelin Men. And then they played Belgian Cup, which I'm not sure if he played or not. Today, Gang played. They beat the Sport 5-0. So they put a shellacking. But on Saturday when they played Michelin, listen, my whole heart, the back line, to the two center backs, the Colombian, Johan Lucami, the American from the Philadelphia area, Mark McKenzie. What else could I ask for here? And a draw, nonetheless. But still, look, this is what I was looking for. Lucami and McKenzie. I absolutely love it. Justin, first off, what are your takeaways from the Dupe Across the Pond this weekend?
Well, for one thing, it's very clear that Mark McKenzie likes his sheets clean.
Yeah.
And
You would hope so, right?
I mean, 0-0, they say it's not, it's a draw, but hey, it means the defense did their job. The offense just didn't do their job. And for Mark, it makes me think if you look at like, their center back, specifically Carlos Cuesta, who has gotten since we started watching, like 2 red cards in like 5 or 6 games, and you're just like, okay, like you're not really staying on the field, guy. Like it's kind of hard to, and Mark has come in, and obviously, it's going to be a little slower given, the way they're center back 3, but it seems like he's picked it up very quickly.
Right.
And I'm happy about that. As for Brendan, it's very clear that he has hit the ground running. Every time I've turned on a Red Bull Salzburg game, and he hops on, he's splitting defenders. He's forcing foul. All I see is Brendan getting fouled. And it shows that he's getting under players' skin. Like my favorite clip is, him getting, tackled from behind, just getting up and kind of laughing, and the ref pulls out the yellow, and it was the guy second yellow for a red. Like, and he laughed about it because he knows that's how people are going to try to stop him. And he keeps constantly getting fouled. But the kid's durable. He gets up. He plays. He does the passes. He does the link up passes. If he's playing on that wing, like Jesse Marsh likes to play him right now, he'll come to the ball. But then if he sees that the pass is up, he'll run up. And I've seen their right back just launch up a curler up the line, and Brendan runs onto it. And I saw a perfect play that encompasses how well he's been doing. So it was that same ball, a curling ball thrown up the wing. The striker came to one of the 2 strikers came up to him. He does a give and go, and then the striker gets the ball back, and that pass leads to a foul, to a free kick just outside the box.
Yeah.
And that's what Brendan did here. And now the world's getting to see, how he did that. And it's it just makes you feel very positive to see that our first 2 big exports are already contributing in their leagues. And it brings a big smile to my face because, we talk about, how long was it going to take for our players to really develop and really get down to, are Brendan and Mark really going to get time when they start there? Well, they've hit the ground running, and they're both very clearly starting to show why they made those moves. And you know what? Like, if you're a Union fan, you can't help but go, I watched that guy play, live. Like it's one of those, you got to see him in his early stages before he made that move. And God forbid, hopefully, eventually in, another decade or so, both of them decide to come back. And, towards the end of their careers, hopefully this is their mid-30s. Hopefully they've had a successful career in Europe, winning Ballon d'Ors and Champions League and, multiple titles in every league possible.
And it all started at Chester.
And they come back and pay it forward. They come back and instruct the kids that are now coming up through the academy going, here's what I did. Here's how you got to push yourself. You got to really dedicate yourself. After practice, if you're a midfielder or a striker, you got to take shots. You got to take shots. Look at, like I said, potentially the next player to go across, Anthony Fontana. Who I mean, there's a lot of people who remember he was one of the first players, the first bigger players to sign a homegrown deal.
Yeah.
And he was a young kid. He's only around there. He's 2021 now. He got started early. And you saw last year there was a very distinct change in Anthony Fontana.
Yeah.
And you asked everyone around the team and they went, yeah, and Anthony would stay after like a half hour, 45 minutes at least.
Yeah.
And practice from outside the box, just ripping shots. And what does he do? That's all he did last year was rip shots. And that's huge.
Absolutely.
And that's what's big. And it's the fruits of our labor are starting to come. And you know what? The Philadelphia Union are going to be taking over Europe. That's very clear. First America, then the Philadelphia Union. It's going to be, listen, we're large and in charge. So
yeah, straight out of Chester. I'm excited, and to your point too, this is one of the reasons why I tell people you need to get into the Philadelphia Union, because, like, look, we understand that the MLS will never be the pinnacle of soccer worldwide, right? But being able to see these kids grow, and what if we do surpass FC Dallas? Imagine those Dallas fans seeing McKinney and now Brian Reynolds, Reggie Cannon, and Chris Richards. So
yeah,
you get like the sense of pride, like that's my Mark McKenzie. That is my Brendan Aronson. It is a dope thing that we are witnessing right now, and it's only just the beginning, guys. It's only just the beginning. Tim, your thoughts here on our players overseas?
Yeah, I mean, they've been balling out, like Justin said. So there. I'll go a little first with Mark McKenzie and some of his numbers from his game. So first, Genk actually went into a 4-3-3 for this match, so it wasn't a back three. He was a little bit more comfortable, and I think that's why we saw this type of game from him. But he completed 82 of 89 passes in that game. That's a 92% clip right there.
Let's go.
That's when Mark McKenzie is at his best, is when he's able to pass out of the back, kind of structure the team in front of him. But it wasn't only that. He had two like major tackles and 3 clearances out of the box as well. So he does his job defensively, and he can organize the team in front of him. We saw it with the Union. Especially in a back 4, he looks very, very comfortable, especially with Genk right now. Obviously, John, you mentioned his partner there being your country. So that's maybe a good partnership that they kind of stick with moving forward. We'll have to see. I didn't see what they played today in the in their cup game. I don't think Mark.
They won 3-0.
They did win. I just didn't see the formation of it. I don't know if they're trying to do that. Playing around a little bit with the lineup there, but that speaks volumes for Mark's development as well. If you come in and play a game like that, it's going to be very hard to take you off the field, type of thing. So awesome stuff there. And then Brendan Aronson actually sat down with Grant Wall. I believe it was at the end of last week.
That's right.
We got to talk about his first few games over at Salzburg. And he said something that's kind of interesting, and Justin kind of alluded to it, but his ability to make runs off the ball and, have key decision-making on the ball is going to be crucial in this league. He kind of mentioned how over there, players might sit back a little bit, but then once you're on the ball in the attacking half, they're coming in at you. They're coming studs up. They're looking to really get stuck in. And he mentioned how that just means that his decision making is going to have to be better. He's going to know when he needs to make that run down the wing. He's going to know if he picks up the ball in the middle of the field and there's someone on his back, that they're most likely going to clip at his heels. And if he can get in the right spot and get taken down, then there's another yellow, like you said. If he gets in the right spot to make a pass, we've seen his passing ability. He even mentioned that he's sort of had this knack for those, really good passes, those through balls, sort of things like that. He's had that for pretty much his whole life. So if he can continue to do that, and we're seeing what he's doing now, he's been talking about that too. That's the style of play that he wants to instill in his Red Bull career there over in Salzburg. So if we see that, we'll see more great things out of him. I would expect that means we would see a few more starts as well, with their schedule congestion and everything like that. Especially now they're moving into Europa League here soon. They have a good match coming up. I think it's against Valencia, if I'm not mistaken. I
know it's going to be in the next few weeks, because that's when all the the Champions League and Europa League ties get back on.
Yeah, so hey, maybe we'll get to see our boy over in the Europa League, as soon as a few weeks from now. That'd be pretty cool.
I would never imagine that I would witness Philadelphia Union players in European I know it's Europa League, but still, that's really cool. And then you look back over here in the mainland, the Union are in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful time to be a fan of the Philadelphia Union. Awesome stuff. All right, guys. Hey, we're over an hour now here. This is a great episode. A lot of things we did cover here today. Justin and Tim, again, you know what time it is. I will allow you guys to get the last word here for our audience here. Tim, I'll allow you to start it off, man. Any last words here for these beautiful audiences that we have here today?
No, I just say continue to stay safe, everybody out there. I know we want to see soccer return, and hopefully we'll be able to see that with MLS here. But if we do get that option and we are able to go, even to events in person, make sure everyone you're still staying safe.
Right.
Sanitize keeping your distance. As much as it's fun to know that where people are getting the vaccine and things might be on the road to normal, we still have to take our precautions. So just keep doing what we've been doing, and we'll get through this all together.
Wear those damn masks. Absolutely. Justin, any last words for our beautiful audience?
No, similar to what Tim said, everyone stay safe. Continue to wear your mask. Despite getting vaccinated, everyone still has to be careful.
Yes.
I know I get my second dose of the vaccine next week.
Nice.
I am looking forward to that, but I'm also still being very cautious.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should be cautious. And I also hope, even if the season gets delayed or we have a lockout, I hope everyone tunes in to the kit launch tomorrow. I hope everyone stays tuned to Friday when I'll be sending some videos of the kit launch, the shindig they're having. But yeah, I hope everyone stays safe. There's plenty of sports on TV. Just be occupied, and there's plenty to do. And I said it last week, and with the the Bell Let's Talk hashtag going around these past few weeks, I'll say this again. Mental health is no joke. Myself, I deal with anxiety, and and I have ways to help, but I also have a good support network. Yeah. I have people that I can talk to, people that I know I can rely on to help me talk me through it. And if anyone ever needs me, and I said this last week and I'll say it again, please don't hesitate to reach out. And you guys see me on Facebook, on Twitter, message me and let's talk, because mental health is no joke. And especially during this quarantine, the pandemic, it's really raised, to the forefront the issue of mental health. And staying sane and staying, keeping your head above water during, dangerous times where over 400,000 Americans have died. And, it's a scary thought. And it's a disease that even to this day, we only know so much about. And it's something that, it scares me too. But, we're all in this together. And like I said, if anyone ever needs to talk, I'm always available. And let's talk. Whatever it is, let's talk.
100%. Again, thank you both. You guys are always bringing, social issues to the forefront here, and that's the thing here with this podcast. We do talk about the Philadelphia Union and the MLS, but we care about not only our fan base here, but our community, and we just want to make sure that everyone is living their best life. And if you do need help, it's okay to ask for it, and we're here for you 100%. Blessed to be working with you guys. Thank you so much again for another great episode here, guys. And thank you guys for listening as well. Truly means the world to us. We ain't going nowhere. We going to keep bringing you that fire content. And the more closer we get to the season, we're going to keep giving you some more things to look forward to. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to subscribe. If you wherever you listen to podcasts, PSN Radio, all your Philly sports podcasts are on there. Make sure you subscribe. If you want to watch us virtually, make sure to subscribe to Parcero Philly's YouTube channel. You can watch us virtually, especially after this live. If you want to watch it again, you can definitely do that too. It'll be on that channel as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Justin Freiberg, and that is Tim Lovinguth. I go by the name of Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to DOOP on. We'll talk to you guys very, very soon.